Ever feel like the book of Acts is a whirlwind of names, places, and events? It's an incredible story, but keeping track of everything can be a challenge. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We're going on a high-speed tour through all 28 chapters of Acts, giving you a clean, chapter-by-chapter summary. No fluff, just the core story of the early church. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. After his resurrection, Jesus gives his final instructions, promises the Holy Spirit, and ascends into heaven. The apostles then choose Matthias to replace Judas. Chapter 2. Pentecost. The Holy Spirit arrives like wind and fire. Peter preaches a powerful sermon, and about 3,000 people are baptized, forming the very first Christian community. Chapter 3. At the temple, Peter and John heal a man who was lame from birth, causing a stir and giving Peter another chance to preach. Chapter 4. Their preaching lands them in jail. They boldly testify before the Sanhedrin and are released. The believers pray for more courage, and their community grows in generosity. Chapter 5. A cautionary tale. Ananias and Sapphira lie about a donation and face immediate consequences. The apostles continue performing miracles but are arrested again, only to be freed by an angel. Chapter 6. To solve a dispute about food distribution for widows. The apostles appoint 7 men, including Stephen, to oversee this ministry. Chapter 7. Stephen gives a powerful speech recounting Israel's history and accusing the leaders of resisting God. He is stoned, becoming the first Christian martyr. Chapter 8. Persecution scatters the believers, but this spreads the gospel. Philip preaches in Samaria and later baptizes an Ethiopian official. Chapter 9. The game changes. Saul, a fierce persecutor, has a dramatic encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus and converts. He begins preaching the very faith he tried to destroy. Chapter 10. Peter has a vision that declares all foods clean, preparing him for a divine appointment. He visits a Gentile named Cornelius, whose entire household receives the Holy Spirit. Chapter 11. This is a huge turning point. Peter has to defend the inclusion of Gentiles to the church in Jerusalem. Meanwhile, the church in Antioch becomes a major hub for the faith. Chapter 12. Persecution intensifies. King Herod executes the apostle James and imprisons Peter, who is miraculously freed by an angel. Herod himself meets a grim end. Chapter 13. The first missionary journey begins. The church in Antioch sends out Paul, formerly Saul, and Barnabas to spread the gospel. Chapter 14. Their journey is met with mixed results. They establish churches but also face intense opposition, with Paul even being stoned and left for dead. Chapter 15. A major debate erupts. Do Gentile believers need to follow Jewish law? The Jerusalem Council decides no, they don't, making it easier for non-Jews to join the faith. Chapter 16. On his second journey, Paul is joined by Timothy. In Philippi, they convert a businesswoman named Lydia, but are jailed after an exorcism. An earthquake frees them, leading to the jailer's conversion. Chapter 17. In Thessalonica and Berea, they find both eager listeners and angry mobs. In Athens, Paul delivers his famous speech at the Areopagus about the unknown God. Chapter 18. Paul spends 18 months in Corinth, working as a tent maker with Aquila and Priscilla. Chapter 19. In Ephesus, Paul's ministry is so powerful it sparks a riot among idol makers whose business is threatened by the gospel. Chapter 20. Paul travels through Macedonia and Greece before giving an emotional farewell speech to the Ephesian elders, knowing he faces danger in Jerusalem. Chapter 21. Despite warnings, Paul goes to Jerusalem, where a riot breaks out in the temple. He's arrested by Roman soldiers. Chapter 22. Paul defends himself before the crowd, sharing his dramatic conversion story. He uses his Roman citizenship to avoid being flogged. Chapter 23. A plot to assassinate Paul is discovered, so he is transferred under heavy guard to the governor in Caesarea. Chapter 24. Paul is put on trial before Governor Felix, who leaves him in prison for 2 years, hoping for a bribe.